Hello and welcome to FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the City of Greensboro. The City of Greensboro and Griffin and Strong PC are hosting two public hearings for business owners and community members to share their experiences about doing business with the city. The hearings are scheduled for Tuesday, September 12th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Barber Park Conference Room located at 1500 Dans Road, and on Wednesday, September 13th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Nussbaum Center located at 1451 South Elm Eugene Street. The hearings will be conducted by Griffin and Strong, who are conducting the 2017 disparity study for the city's Minority and Women-Owned Business Enterprise, or MWB, office. Griffin and Strong will not solicit questions during either hearing, only comments. All comments will be recorded and potentially used as evidence for the study. This year's disparity study is designed to determine if equal access has been provided to all MWBE businesses on city contracts. For more information about the disparity study, visit greensborostudy.com. To register to attend either of the public hearings, call Sterling Johnson, the Deputy Project Manager with Griffin and Strong. The Human Relations Department will present author Jada Monica Drew as the featured speaker at this year's Women's Equality Day breakfast. The theme is Women Unite. Her book, entitled Revolutionize Now: Creative Leadership and Action for Social Change, is a call to action guiding readers to discover their personal power to create social change. The breakfast will be held on Saturday, August 26th from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex Terrace, located at 1921 West Gate City Boulevard. Entertainment will include the Southwest Middle School Vocal Ensemble and Titus Gant. Tickets are $25 and may be purchased from the Human Relations Department by Monday, August 21st. Women's Equality Day honors the anniversary of the end of women's suffrage and ratification of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, signed on August 18, 1920. The Women's Equality Day breakfast is sponsored by the Greensboro Commission on the Status of Women, Titus Gant Performing Group, Social Designs, and the Greensboro Coliseum Complex. For more information, contact the Human Relations Department at 336-373-2038. HQ Greensboro will set the backdrop to educate and engage the public on the Guilford County Community Indicators Project. Code for Greensboro, the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro, Cone Health, and other community partners will explain the project on Wednesday, August 23rd from 5 o'clock p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The Guilford County Community Indicators Project, or CIP, once completed, will be a virtual dashboard that uses data visualization to measure different areas of community wellness, from literacy and high school graduation rates, demographic information, access to healthcare centers, and more. Through CIP, the hope is to create a tool for citizens and policymakers to make more data-driven decisions on programs and services for the broader community. The event will showcase various examples of existing CIP dashboards and data sets from Mecklenburg County, the City of Greensboro, Piedmont Health, as well as the early stages of Guilford County's Community Indicators Dashboard. Presenters include Tobin Bradley from Mecklenburg County, Kathy Colville of Piedmont Health Counts, Jason Marshall with the city's IT department, and Leonard Lawson with Code for Greensboro. In an effort to help our employees and residents improve their quality of life, the city has partnered with Cone Health for a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to get fit and stay fit. Let's check in with our friends at Cone Health for today's News for Your Health.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Pa, and I'm a physical therapist at Cone Health Outpatient Rehabilitation. I'm here today to talk to you about exercises you can do to improve your mobility and ease the stiff, achy joints that you might have. Whether it's your knees, your back, or your shoulders, there's always an exercise you can do that's simple and effective, that's low impact, and you don't need any equipment at all. So let's go ahead and get started. This is my friend Kendra, and she's here to help us do some of these exercises and demonstrate how it's done. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to start with today is a little bit of a light warm-up, okay? So she's going to start by marching in place, nice and easy. Now, if you've already been moving around your house, that's great. You can go ahead and take a walk to the mailbox, or just make sure you're doing something to get your blood flowing before you start some of these exercises. Okay, and as you get going, after the first minute or so, you can start to add your upper body. So you can either pump your arms a little bit more, or if you feel a little tense in your upper body, you can also add some shoulder rolls, okay? So you want to just warm up the joints and just kind of get the blood flowing, get your heart rate up a little bit, okay? Like I said, maybe a minute or two before you start some of these exercises. And now, another exercise which is going to work on your leg muscles, okay? So this is a sit to stand exercise. What you want to make sure is that you have a nice firm chair so that you've got a good solid place to stand from. A sofa might be too challenging. So she's got armrests here. She's going to try to sit down without using her hands, okay? So reaching her arms out in front, she sends her hips back and lowers down. Now, I want you to try this to try to see if you can stand up and sit down without using your hands. Okay, she'll do this maybe 5 to 10 times. Now, if you need your hands, you can definitely do that, but that is a good way to tell if you're getting stronger. So your thigh muscles are getting a little bit stronger. On her next one, she's going to start to raise her arms up. So she's going to lower down and then up with her arms up overhead. So that just gets a good full body exercise. She doesn't have to raise her arms all the way up overhead, but just getting the upper body involved is a really good thing. Notice that her knees are tracking right over her second toe. She's got great form, her hips are going back, her back is nice and straight. From there, we're going to start to add in some more dynamic exercises. So she's going to do kind of a similar to the warm-up. Her knees are going to come up. So this is called a knee pull down. Arms start up. She's going to bring her hands down towards her knees. Good. Just getting a little bit more intensity going. So she's working on her upper body, her core, and her lower body. Now, again, if your arms can't get up that high, or if this is too challenging, you can definitely do it with a lower intensity, or even in sitting. You can march your knees if that was too difficult. Okay. Now what she's going to do is add a little bit of trunk rotation. So here's that core working again, going across the body, pulling her knees up towards her chest. And she has great form. And really, you know, if you can do 10 going to each side, that's plenty. We're going to stretch your back out a little bit here. So stand with your feet wide apart. You're going to take one arm up overhead, reach it really tall. Now keep this hip where it is, and you're just going to round your spine over toward the other side. Good. And then come all the way back up. Again, you go into what range of motion is comfortable for you. Okay, make sure you're breathing. Once you're over, maybe take a nice deep breath into your ribs here. That should feel really, really good to a stiff back. Nice job. Come back up to center. Let's do that one more time to each side. Really thinking about lengthening your finger to your foot, that whole long line. That looks great. You could always do this in sitting if you needed to. Okay, and then back all the way up and reach up and over. You never want to bounce when you're stretching. You want to hold it for a good 15 to 30 seconds. With this one, probably closer to 15 seconds would be good. Okay, so what we're going to work on now is a little stretch that you're going to do in the seated position. This is going to stretch your hamstring, so the muscle that is behind your knee. So you're going to sit nice and tall, close to the edge of your chair, and you're going to extend one leg out in front of you. Okay? What you want to do is pull your toes back to your head. Make sure your knee is very, very straight, and you're just going to shift your weight forward. So hinging forward at the hip, just to get a really good stretch back here. Now, you're going to hold this about 30 seconds. You want to breathe and feel that really good stretch. Now, if you sit a lot, if you have to sit at an office chair a lot and it's hard to take breaks, this muscle tends to really get tight behind your knee, and it can also cause some back pain. So it's a really good, effective muscle to stretch. Good. Come all the way back up, and then you'll switch sides. Okay? Sitting nice and tall, just bring your chest forward, leaning forward over that knee. Now you shouldn't really feel this too much in your back. You want to always kind of ease into it. It should be felt behind the knee or even in the calf muscle. Great. And then come all the way back up. The last stretch we're going to do is for your back, and it's called a spine twist, or just a little bit of rotation. So what she's going to do is grab hold of the chair. and you're going to stay very tall through your spine here. You're going to rotate and just kind of twist and really feel a good stretch through her rib cage. Good. And then back to center, and she'll do the other side. You can use the chair to kind of help you and assist that motion. Good. Make sure you're very tall when you do this. You don't want to bend and twist. Okay? Good. And back to center. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're motivated to begin exercising and start improving your health. For more information about our programs or how physical therapy can improve your mobility, visit conehealth.com/physicaltherapy. I'm Jennifer Pa.
The 2017 Carolinas Joint Conference on Recreation and Parks Associations will be hosted in Greensboro. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department will host the Recreation and Parks Association's 2017 Carolinas Joint Conference at the Corey Convention Center. The conference will take place September 11th and 12th and will bring together more than 1,000 park and recreation professionals from North and South Carolina to learn from each other and meet exhibitors. This year's theme, Parks and Recreation More Than You Think, embraces the fact that progressive agencies do more than provide activities to fill residents' spare time. Parks and Recreation departments are critical to the success of any community and vital for all residents. Greensboro is proud to build better lives and a better community, and we're excited to show our peers from across the region exactly what Greensboro Parks and Recreation has to offer. Conference attendees are encouraged to arrive in Greensboro early to experience the 3rd Annual National Folk Festival on September 8th, 9th, and 10th, showcasing more than 30 musical and dance performances on 7 stages. For a full conference schedule or to register for the Carolinas Joint Conference, please visit the city's website. There's still time to register to volunteer at the 2017 National Folk Festival. The free event takes place the second weekend in September. This marks the event's 3rd and final year in North Carolina. Arts Greensboro hopes to secure approximately 1,500 volunteers based on a projected audience of more than 150,000. Online registration is open for either individuals or groups. Volunteers can indicate the role they are interested in as well as the times they prefer to work. There are a variety of volunteer opportunities, and volunteers may sign up for more than one shift during the 3-day event. Returning volunteers who served at the National Folk Festival last year should have received an email with a link which enables them to update their information. All volunteers will be asked to attend an orientation or special training session. Online registration is available at nationalfolkfestival.com/volunteer. For more information about the festival in general, please visit nationalfolkfestival.com. GPD is asking for memorabilia that reflects our police and community relations. Greensboro Police will place the donated items in a time capsule, which will be opened 100 years from now. The capsule will be buried on September 28th in a ceremony that coincides with the grand reopening of police headquarters. This will mark the relocation of the Chief's Executive Office from City Hall to the 5th floor of 100 Police Plaza. Memorabilia may include art, photos, letters, essays, poems, or songs. The goal is to provide a broad view of today's policing efforts. Items must be received by August 31st. A committee of police employees and community members will evaluate each item to determine if it will go inside the capsule or be placed on display. Contributors of the artifacts selected for the capsule will be invited to the burial ceremony. The time capsule will be registered with the International Time Capsule Society. In an effort to spotlight and celebrate the entrepreneurs, the artists, the community builders, and essentially the next generation of leaders, the City of Greensboro is proud to partner with Action Greensboro to introduce our Made in Greensboro series. This day, we place the spotlight on window restoration expert David Hoggard. David Hoggard was a wholesale instrument salesman with a passion for restoring historic homes when he stumbled into entrepreneurship. He and his wife planned to buy homes in the Aycock Historic District, now called Dunleith, improve them and rent them to earn money to send their children to college. It involved a lot of hard work, including the delicate business of repairing 100-year-old windows. By historic district guidelines, restoration is always preferred over replacement. That made sense to David, who says unlike modern windows, these were made to be repaired. Before long, people were looking to him for advice on how to repair their own windows. Today, his business, Double Hung, has 20 employees and restores windows for commercial, institutional, and residential properties. Window sashes from across the Southeast are carefully stripped of centuries of paint and repaired at the company's bustling Patterson Street workshop. David considers it working with artifacts. You'll find David's handiwork at the Old State Capitol Building in Raleigh, the Virginia Supreme Court, and the Greensboro Historical Museum. To learn more about Made in Greensboro or to see more images taken by photographers Jerry Walford and Scott Mothersbaugh, visit the Action Greensboro website at madeingso.com. Greensboro Parks and Recreation will host a celebratory groundbreaking for the second phase of construction at Griffin Park. The event will take place at 10 a.m. on Friday, August 25th at 5301 Hilltop Road. The event is open to the public and will take place rain or shine. This expansion of Griffin Park may include a new picnic shelter and dog park. The 48-acre scenic park opened in 2014. It has a playground and 15,000-square-foot community recreation center with a fitness room, meeting space, and a gym. The public voted and the library listened. Coming up after the break, we'll talk about the One City, One Book community read being hosted by Central Library. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The community has been invited to participate in a book reading experience that celebrates women and their contributions to science and technology. Joining me now to talk about the highlights of the One City, One Book event is Beth Sheffield. She coordinates the adult programming and book clubs at Central Library. Hello, Beth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I know this is a very exciting time for the library. This is an event where you're trying to bring the community together to focus on one singular book. So tell me a little bit about One City, One Book and how it got started.
Our programming started in 2002. There were a number of libraries throughout the country that were doing programs like this where they invited the community to come together with one book. Our first book was A Lesson Before Dying by Ernest Gaines. And the project was so successful that we have been doing it roughly every other year since.
Oh, wonderful. Now, when you have to narrow it down, I can imagine there's so many books that you can choose from. How did you come to Hidden Figures as your book this year?
Oh, we're really excited about our choice this year. What we do is we take recommendations from the community. This is a community read. We want to hear from our community members. And we have a selection committee that will read up to about 40 books some years, depending on the year. And we narrow it down. And this year we did something different. We actually invited the community to vote on our top 4 choices. So the community chose this book. I think there's a lot of interest because it is a book about science. It covers the men and women of the early space program. It's an empowering book, so we're real excited about the programming.
Okay, well, anytime you get the public to vote on something, you know that they're really going to be vested in the process. Mm-hmm. So with that, you have a kickoff as far as when people are supposed to get this book read. Tell us about that, and will we actually get to meet the author?
Well, the kickoff is actually to launch the project. People can come and check out a book from the public library. We just sent about many copies to all the branches this week, and you can check out a book and read it now through the end of November. And our kickoff is August 26th from 1 to 5, Saturday, August 26th from 1 to 5 in the afternoon. And we decided to make it a block party to have fun and to celebrate the eras of the book. We're going to have a fashion show. Jessica Mashburn, who is a local DJ, will be there to spin some tunes. The Piedmont Swing Society is coming, Swing Dance Society is coming, and will teach us how to do the shim sham
that's fun.
dance. And then we will also have some of our local partners have information about STEM activities, and also you can meet some women scientists that will be there. We will also have drones. You can make a small rocket and launch it. So lots of activities for the entire family.
Wonderful. It sounds like a lot of fun. How can people participate and make sure they don't miss out on One City, One Book?
They can go to the library's website, www.greensborolibrary.org, and all the events are listed there. We have over 40 programs planned, plus a lot of book discussions. You know, the main thing is simply read the book, but hopefully you'll participate in a book discussion or another one of the programs. We have films, we have children's programming, we've got a great program at the Historical Museum. So hopefully you'll participate. And the author will be here on September 28th. Margot Lee Shetterly, the author of Hidden Figures here, is going to be here on the 28th of September at 7 o'clock at Dana Auditorium at Guilford College, and at 12 noon at GTCC and Jamestown at their campus there. Jamestown is one of our partners, and they have actually, all their English classes will be reading this book as part of the project.
Wonderful. So we've got participation across the board, across the county. This is great timing for people to get involved before your kickoff on the 26th, and we look forward to meeting the author next month in September.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, Beth, for stopping by. Please come back and give us other updates on all the fun library programs that you host.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for a little-known fact about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. One way to stay informed about what's happening in the city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings. The Greensboro City Council meetings are open to the public, but if you can't attend, we broadcast the meetings live right here on GTN. Council meetings take place at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesdays of the month on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit greensboro-nc.gov/council meetings. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. In 1923, people came from miles around to gaze at the Elm Street Jefferson building that stood 17 stories high, making it the tallest and largest office building in the South. The final cost of construction for the Jefferson Standard Life Insurance Company was $2.5 million. The turn-of-the-century Guilford County Courthouse was demolished to make room for the skyscraper. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, the U-shaped design provided ventilation through open windows and doors, an important feature in those pre-air conditioning days. The exterior has remained unchanged since the 1920s. The bust of Thomas Jefferson placed over the main entrance reflects the company's name. The company slogan was, "A Jefferson Standard Policy is a declaration of independence for the family." In its early years, the building was a city within a city with a variety of offices in addition to the insurance company. A restaurant was on the top floor. The interior has been extensively remodeled. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our city department spotlight. Stay with us.
Hey, this is Jody. It's hard to believe the last weekend in August is here. This Friday, UNCG presents Spartan Cinema at LeBauer Park. Bring a blanket or lawn chair and enjoy Jurassic World starring Chris Pratt on the Great Lawn. The movie starts at dusk around 8:15 p.m. Free parking is available in the Church Street parking deck located at 215 North Church Street. More information on this and all upcoming LeBauer Park events can be found on facebook.com/LeBauer Park. You're invited to the One City, One Book kickoff celebration this Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. at Central Library. Celebrate our community-wide reading adventure featuring Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly. The event features a vintage fashion show, vintage cars, swing dancing, activities for kids, and more. Go to greensborolibrary.org for a full list of events. Also on Saturday, as part of the festivities, the library will host a fun glow-in-the-dark night sky event from 1 to 4 p.m. at Central Library. Kids can use glitter pens and stickers to create a beautiful night sky to take home. Don't miss this enchanting activity. All library children's events can be found at greensborolibrary.org. Summer Night Lights, also known as SNL, will host their Summers Over Bash at Glenwood Library on Sunday at 3 p.m. Teens can chill with games, create makerspace activities, and enjoy snacks. Learn about the new Teen Advisory Committee, or TAC, where you can help plan teen programs through the library. This event is for those age 11 to 17. For more information, go to facebook.com/GSO Summer Night Lights. The last Muse-Up concert of the summer takes place this Sunday at LeBauer Park. Benji Johnson and Tress Jablos, a blues rock band, will take the stage at 6 p.m. and Dobie, a funk soul band, will perform at 7:15 p.m. Bring a blanket or lawn chair and take in the last jam session of the summer. For more information, go to greensboro-nc.gov/Muse-Up. Keep watching FYI Weekly right here on GTN to find out more about events happening on the town.
The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The legal department is an integral part of the City of Greensboro. The city attorney and his support staff are committed to providing expert legal advice and representation to the city, its elected officials, and employees on a broad range of issues. The attorneys focus on issues relating to local government law, such as public finance, land use, public records, taxation, open meetings, and condemnation. The legal department also represents the City of Greensboro, its agencies, officials, and employees on public matters and business. It's important to note the legal department cannot provide legal advice to residents, nor can it refer residents to a private attorney. On the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO segment. A co-ed basketball team from the Greensboro Police Department participated in a charity basketball game against a team of barbers. The competition is part of the third annual Back to School rally at the Greensboro Coliseum Fieldhouse. This is the second year GPD and the Barbers have squared off on the basketball court. The game is part of a larger event to inspire youngsters to excel during the school year. It includes a basketball skills and drills clinic, motivational speakers, step show, and dance contest. The police officers say this charity event provides an opportunity to build relationships with young people, allowing kids to see officers in a different light. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.